Bonjour, bonjour à toutes et tous. Bienvenue ici au Quels, bienvenue ce matin pour la suite de nos rendez-vous professionnels. Dans le cadre du parcours Stop Motion, donc on a construit avec Film en Bretagne, que je remercie encore beaucoup pour ce travail collectif qui propose des rendez-vous toujours plus riches. Et ce matin, on a la chance donc, d'accueillir quelqu'un qui nous vient de Slovaquie, qui va pouvoir vous parler donc des liens entre intelligence artificielle et stop motion. Et je vais laisser le soin à Camille Campion, qui est cachée par moi, de Creative Seeds, de modérer cette rencontre, qui sera en anglais. Merci beaucoup, Camille. Thank you, Martin. Et bonne séance.
Merci. I will start in French pour introduire du coup Martine et cette conférence. Donc moi, je fais partie du collectif Creative Machine, qui est un collectif qui réunit des chercheurs, des artistes, des étudiants, des graphistes, des gens des studios, où on réfléchit à comment l'intelligence artificielle touche maintenant depuis à peu près 2 ans et demi que cette vague a commencé à intégrer, on va dire, la connaissance du grand public et pour voir comment elle impacte aussi nos métiers. Donc on est à la fois, on réunit des IA enthousiastes, des gens aussi terrifiés par ces outils qui arrivent, surtout qu'on voit certains de ces acteurs en Chine ou aux États-Unis, la manière dont ça intègre. Mais voilà, on doit prendre du recul, on pense qu'on se doit au moins de commettre ces outils, qu'on les apprécie ou qu'on les apprécie pas. Et donc voilà, on a un cycle de conférences qui aura lieu lundi et une soirée ce soir d'ailleurs en lien avec le festival et à la fin des journées professionnelles qui sera dans les locaux de Creative Seeds et une première conférence assez grand public aussi pour démarrer cet événement et une jam créative qui va permettre de générer, d'apprendre. C'est une sorte de formation accélérée sur 2 jours qui aura lieu pendant le week-end. Je vais dire quelques mots sur Martin. J'ai pu découvrir un peu son travail et la manière dont il va présenter ce qu'il fait. Ce qui est super intéressant, c'est que Martin, c'est quelqu'un qui est passionné par l'animation stop motion à la main, et l'intelligence artificielle lui permet de gagner du temps, à la fois sur des tâches professionnelles, mais aussi des tâches de la vie, des choses de son organisation, de sa planification, de travailler plus vite sur des projets qui sont moins intéressants, d'avoir plus de temps sur des projets qui parfois sont moins rémunérateurs, mais beaucoup plus créatifs, beaucoup plus intéressants. Voilà, j'aime beaucoup son approche. Les outils sont assez simples, assez accessibles. Ce n'est pas les outils les plus complexes, mais ils sont utilisés de manière maligne et efficace. Donc, thank you, Martin, to be here, and let you the word.
Thank you. Thank you for your nice words in the beginning. And also thanks to Festival for inviting me for this nice event. So hello, everyone. My name is Martin. And in the very beginning, I should say that I will talk about AI, how we can use different little little tools for AI. But I should say in the beginning that I'm totally not an expert in artificial intelligence. I mostly do stop motion animation in my life. This is what I want to, keep doing because I really love working manually. But I started using AI when I realized how much it can help me with what I already do. And we are all in the beginning of this like new era. So I thought it can be maybe nice just to share how I use some little tools and maybe share with you some little use cases and tips and tricks. But so understand that all I show you, these are just experiments. I'm not any AI master or something. So I mostly, as I told you, I mostly do stop motion puppet animation because I really like working with hands. And I like that everything what audience see on the screen is made, from real materials, which you can touch and feel. And for the first look, artificial intelligence is absolutely not, suitable for such a traditional handmade work. But some time ago, I realized that my, work is not only about moving the puppet, but my work also includes a lot of small steps with which artificial intelligence can already help me. So what really helped me, was basically to write like the list of individual activities that I do in my work, and then I was thinking like how AI can help me with some of these steps faster. In my case, for example, part of these activities are creative. For example, trying to come up with ideas, writing a script, feedbacks, consultations, drawing storyboard, inspirations, and so on and so on. And some of them are organizational. So, for example, order in files, communication with team, writing emails, production planning, working on tables. And when I had such an overview, I went point by point, and I was thinking which tasks I can speed up, which of them I can automate, possibly delegate, where AI can maybe save me some money. And I found out that these all activities can be basically organized into 4 general categories, which are working with text, working with images, with video, and audio, which means like spoken word or sound or music. I even gave each category like a specific color to make feeling that this masterclass has some structure. Okay, so nowadays there are like already hundreds of AI tools for each of these category. I have tried, let's say, 60, 70, 80 maybe tools over the last maybe 2 years. And today I want to share with you, like just a few of them, which I think that might help or make your life maybe easier. I try to choose those which are easily accessible. So basically, you don't need to install them to computer. You can just access them, right away in the browser, like any other web pages. Some of them are free. Some of them are paid, mostly about 15 to 20 euros per month. So the first part is text. As you probably most of you know, working with text in AI means that you write some text to the website, for example, a question or prompt, and the website gives you the answer back again in the text form as well. That's why this process is called text-to-text, obviously. And it's very similar to chatting with someone. That's why these programs are also called chatbots. Currently, the most well-known in the world are obviously ChatGPT by OpenAI, Gemini by Google, Copilot by Microsoft, and Claude by Anthropic. Each of them has different strengths, and it's good for different type of task. The only way how you find like what chatbot could be the best assistant or for you is just by experimenting and trying and watching tutorials. For example, if I needed an answer with a link to a source, I probably would search for it, on paid version of ChatGPT or Copilot or Perplexity, which is other tool. And it actually doesn't have to be only one of them. I often use them in such a way that when I try to solve some complex situation, I open each of these applications on the separate tab in a browser, and I ask them the same question, and then I make like my own conclusion based on several answers. So, as I mentioned, I use a paid version of ChatGPT, which is 20 euros per month. And the first use case that I use it mostly for are corrections. So, for example, when I'm writing some texts, for example, email in Slovak or another language, I use ChatGPT to correct my mistakes by asking him to, proofread this email, correct any grammatical errors, and basically highlight where I make mistakes. I also use ChatSonic, which is a little tool to email. In this case, for example, I got invitation to festival in Serbia, which I couldn't visit. So I just basically pressed the reply button and select the mood of the reply. I just wrote a few words, and like ChatSonic basically suggested a reply directly in the body of the email, which of course you can still edit, but if I'm satisfied, I can send the email and archive it at the same time, which can save me, a lot of time by instead of copying it and to translator. The second use case I use to GPT is workflow. So, for example, when I am I don't know, I was building stop motion camera slider, so I can ask like what step should I take if I want to build a stop motion slider operated by Dragon Frame, and it gives me back some technical details, you know. And this is the list showed by bullet points, which, you know, it might not be suitable for everyone. Maybe more visually focused people prefer to see it, you know, as a mind maps, to see like the bigger picture of some large project. So in that case, I can there are GPTs, so I can, for example, find some tool for diagrams, and this one seems to be all right. And then I can ask to generate the same problem as, and the result can be, for example, mind map, which is divided into categories. You can always, you know, open it, edit it, rewrite. So really, when I am trying to you know, make some complex task, I really consult the process like this. When I'm working on some budget, it often happens that you know, the text that I copy some data from a table, it's just a big mess. So sometimes I just insert this mess to ChatGPT and write that please arrange these items in a clear table according to categories, and he, you know, cleans and arranges them like this. I can also ask him to export this table to Excel sheet. And AI immediately give me a downloadable link, which, yeah, like connecting AI and Excel is actually, it can be a lecture itself because it has a big potential. It can now already understand documents and evaluate them and analyze them, like external documents that I upload to ChatGPT, which is actually a pretty good feature because, for example, when I was creating this cover for a book, it's a book about body movement and healthy lifestyle. So before I started to draw, I just asked AI to read this book, and I could consult ideas for the cover picture. So in a couple of seconds, AI read all these 100 pages, evaluated them, and suggested, for example, 10 ideas for the cover picture. And of course, I usually don't take right away the idea, but at least it can move you when you feel stuck, or yeah, good starting point. Another function is called custom instructions, which is like information about myself, which I want to give to ChatGPT. And thanks to that, AI gives me not like general answers, but more personalized for me. I go to my profile, I select customize, and then in the first box I put what I want ChatGPT to know about me. So for example, few sentences, what I do, what projects I work on, what clients I have, what I do, I don't know, in my free time. And in the second box, I can specify like how I want ChatGPT to answer, whether answers should be long or short, or what is the preferred tone. And thanks to these instructions, I don't get generic answer like most of the users, but more personalized for me. Okay. So when I am trying to solve, again, some complex problem, it's worth spending some time creating this prompt, because even the prompt can be divided into like smaller parts. So, for example, in one question, I can specify like what role should chatbot play. I can give him a context, which is the basic input information. I can describe my goal, like how the finished result should look like. I can give him a task, what to do, describe which format I want to receive the result, and then in the end, I can give an example. So, for example, imagine you are senior product manager in Apple. I own agency specializing in products. My objective is to get new market. Then I tell him what to do. I specify the format, so for example, numbered list, and I can copy-paste some link to some, successful campaign, for example. And when I build prompt like this, it doesn't matter in ChatGPT, Gemini, wherever, you can rapidly increase the quality of the response. Okay, image recognition. ChatGPT can now easily analyze images that I inserted into it. I'd use it, for example, when I was working on my last film, Hello Summer. I was preparing a scene with the coins, and I found some old coins at home, but I couldn't identify where they are coming from, so I took a picture and I dropped it to AI, asked where these coins are from, and of course ChatGPT identified that is Amharic writing, which is official writing in Ethiopia. Also, for example, I made a mood board of these plants that I wanted to have in the film, but I didn't know their names. So I took a picture and I asked to write the Slovak and Latin names so the production can buy them. And, you know, he managed to analyze the leaves and color and size and compare them with other plants. Okay, I already mentioned ChatGPTs. It's like a little tools. On the left side, you can see option for explore like little GPTs. Here are some examples. If I scroll down, we can see some of the trending GPTs. For example, Scholar or specializing in web creation or logo creation. If we go down, there is, for example, data analyst specializing in looking at my data, and we have all sorts of others. There is also option to create your own little GPT. You can create. You can click on create, and you can use chat interface to define like how to work, or you can configure. So you can give it a name and profile picture and upload different documents to contribute to knowledge like ChatGPT should answer. You can also turn on and off different capabilities, as you can see, for example, web search or canvas. And the most powerful aspect is creating a new action on the down where you can connect your GPT to other applications or databases. Okay, projects are a way how you can stay organized in ChatGPT. Let's say you are working on some bigger project, like it can be report or lesson planning or whatever. And projects in ChatGPT are like little workspaces inside ChatGPT where you can keep everything on one place, all the files and chats and instructions. You can find project tab in the menu on the left. You can then click plus and give your project the name. You can write instructions about the project. And thanks to this new feature, you can keep all the chats in the separate folder, which can be very helpful if you are working a lot with it. Web search. If you remember, in older ChatGPT, you had to explicitly ask him for web searching. You don't need to do it now. You can just simply press the search button. And what it means that it's searching internet right now. So, for example, if you ask him to search for electric cars in 2025, it takes a few seconds to search and show you the results, which is the summary, and also with the clickable links, so you can judge if the website is credible, which is pretty cool feature already now. Okay, at the last feature before I move to the next part is operator. Operator is basically like your assistant or agent which operates your computer or operates your websites for you. In real time, on the left side, you will see like ChatGPT, he's writing what he's doing, and on the right side, you see like how ChatGPT is really moving cursor for you. So basically, you can use it for auto-filling the forms, booking flights, booking hotels or restaurants or order food, all kinds of things. To access operator, you just need to switch the tabs in the left menu. One feature operator, it looks like this. It's pretty good in price research. So in this case, for example, I asked him to go to Amazon and other stores and search for AirPods, compare the prices, and provide the best deal where I can find it. So it opened pages and find products and gave me the link for the cheapest one. And now it's doing all automatically, like or I was wanted to go to Harry Potter studio experience in London, and I gave so yeah, it gave me some dates to work with. And he managed to successfully find tickets, and it gave me opportunity to correct numbers. And if you go to settings, you can set up like how operator works with different providers, like Booking, Uber, eBay, and so on. But it's very new feature. It's not working perfectly yet. But I would say these agents are like a little what we will face in the next couple of months. So basically, you give him just a task, and he operates your web pages, and you can step in it in any step. Okay, the second feature is Gemini. He's fantastic in analyzing complex documents. For example, this is the PDF made of scanned images that consists a lot of text, but also this kind of diagrams and pictures. To analyze it, you can go to Gemini, select 2.5 version, make sure that the canvas is set up, and you can upload this PDF document and ask him to summarize it. And basically, it can now very quickly analyze the images, turn it into text, summarize it. And once we have these materials, you can turn them, for example, into interactive infographics, which basically means that you can drag and drop the project, tell him to create infographics, and it created these, infographics which you can hover in it, show the details, you can click on them. It's almost like a web page, basically. And you can, of course, still edit it. For example, add an option for downloading PDF button, which is still fully functional. Gemini is, created this button. It's just excels in this kind of interactive things, or in visualization in general, which can be very helpful for producers or for production assistants. For example, you can upload a mind map of some project and ask him to help you build, a visualization. And it creates this interactive system, in this case of user interface design, which you can always, edit. Sometimes I use, it's very nice for strategy planning, organization, showing data. If you are a student and you want to see if you are well prepared for your test, you can, upload some educational documents for studying and ask Gemini to create interactive quiz. And what it makes is that it breaks this to different modules. Again, it's fully functional. You can choose the answer, and it writes you the result. So for studying purposes, it's a very nice tool again. So the third one, as I mentioned, is Copilot by Microsoft. What is great on Microsoft is that it's natively working with Microsoft tools like, Teams, Outlooks, Word, Excels. It can combine them all together. I'm not going to show you use cases with Copilot because it has many common features as ChatGPT and Gemini, and I don't use Copilot that often. Much often I use Claude by Anthropic. For me, it's a great partner when I am, for example, trying to come up with some ideas, or if I'm stuck in the story and I don't know how to move. So in that case, I can write that I'm working on a novel, describe my protagonist and his life, describe this scene. And he helps me to develop the plot, which in this case is optimistic, but has some mystery. And he managed to summarize what is, what the setting can be, what are the potential plot points, what the twist can be, the resolution, and so on. And if I would like to see, for example, the visualization of relationship of the main characters, I can ask Claude to create, like a genogram. And thanks to that, I can see a bigger picture of, for example, family structures in this story. The second use case is education. Claude is just a perfect tool because compared to ChatGPT, it's not trained on everything on the internet. Claude is mostly trained on educational data, like studies and books. It has a big library in it, so it doesn't give you like this shitstorm answers. It's actually very smart for educational purposes. For example, if you are a student, you can just create a new project, give it a name, and then you can drag and drop documents and let Claude upload documents and he can analyze them. So for example, in this way you can create a study guide with summaries and questions, and it can help you prepare for the course. So I know that many students also at our university are using Claude, but not only for cheating, obviously, but also for like being organized. And projects are also things that help you be organized. You can just click on a new project, give it a name, describe like what you want to achieve. For example, in this case, it can be onboarding process to a company. And again, you can upload documents of team structure and ask him, to create a clear chart based on the files, and it gives you back the structure of the people in the company. And again, you can save these to projects to keep organized. Okay, so this first chapter, this was all about texts, like little use cases you can use chatbot for. But in general, I really believe that it can save a lot of time, even for such a creative professions as animators are or directors or producers. Okay, to move to second chapter, it's working with images. So basically, working with pictures in AI could be divided into two phases. The first one is creating or generating those images, which means that I ask a question in the text form and I get an answer in the form of picture. That's why it's called text to image. And the second phase is editing. When I already created some pictures. Okay, so let's have a look at the first one, image generation. Again, there are dozens of tools for this. I will show you just 3 of them that I use most often. The first one, again, is ChatGPT, Midjourney, and Adobe Firefly. If you work primarily with visual materials, I definitely recommend experimenting with them because each of them is good for other type of activity. Which one you will use really depends on what the result, what you plan to use the result for, So I don't know, if you work with Adobe Creative Cloud, Firefly is a very good tool because it's implemented in your Creative Cloud. Midjourney right now, I would say that it's the most, how to say, like the... probably maybe even the best tool for generating images, but it's pretty expensive. And good thing on ChatGPT, for example, is that it's integrated exactly where we write text in ChatGPT. The only thing we have to specify that we want to get an image is to write, generate an image, or in this case, design a poster in retro showing in retro style. And in a couple of seconds, it gives you back this movie poster. But sometimes I don't know exactly how to write the right command so I can ask ChatGPT to tell me like how to generate an image of something, and it creates these 5 different prompts in English that I can use for generating. he wrote it the way that I probably would never be able to write it, and I can just copy some of these commands and generate image of, for example, in this case, city from fruits and vegetables. And it's never the final output, but in my case, it can help me as a reference before I start building city from fruits for puppet stop motion film. And as you can see, these pictures are, they are not very hyper realistic. They have this strange fog around, but it's a great tool for generating, references for game design, book illustrations. And these are, again, a couple of use cases that I use image generation in ChatGPT for. For example, I have this rough hand-drawn storyboard, but I would like to see it more clearly, so I can take a photo of storyboard on my iPhone and upload it to ChatGPT and ask him to turn this sketch to drawing. Sometimes I use it when I'm designing a new puppet character, so I can ask to generate how the character might look from the front, from the back, from the side, and this might be very helpful for puppet building in my case. And then I can ask him to generate it in different forms to see how it looks, with different materials. Since I'm working a lot with textiles and fabrics and clothes, I use this a lot. For example, I can prototype t-shirts and dresses and outfits. It's really great for fashion designers or to design clothes to animated film. I did, for example, the rough sketch of a dress in Asian style, and I asked him to render it on a mannequin. Of course, you can also render it on a real person. You can see how clothes would look on you. So I just uploaded the photo of this woman, then a photo of jacket, and I asked to make the woman to wear a jacket, and the result was this image. Also, I uploaded image of realistic person in clothes, and ChatGPT placed all of these items as a laid flat image. Which can be also great for preparing a film. And it also works pretty well the other way around. So, for example, you can upload multiple pieces of clothes and ask him to generate a person wearing these items. So, I can describe that it should be a woman sitting on steps in urban environment, and you can ask to show the same image from the different angle or generate a close-up portrait shot. Again, you can drop glasses and jacket and ask to create a female black fashion model wearing these, again, from different angles. And it can be really great tool for example, preparing for, references for clients or preparing for a movie. And when you are thinking what your character should be wearing. For example, I have taken a photo of shoes on the picture, and on the other one I have a product, so we can ask him to replace the shoe in the first image with the product in the second image, and even add some text, which can be really also great for commercials if you are working with clients. I had some item, for example, this bag, and I would like to see how it would look in the real world. So you can ask ChatGPT to create a woman on the street from the side view. And generated image, it's not totally similar but as the original, but it's pretty identical and pretty close. User interface, sometimes in our studio we design graphics. So, for example, in ChatGPT now you can design all kinds of interface elements like buttons and switches, and you can create, player interfaces, game interfaces. It's great for icon design for apps and games. For example, I asked here for icon for Android weather app. It works pretty well for architects in our creative center. They visualize concepts, or scenographers. You can draw a sketch like this, upload it to ChatGPT, and ask it to turn into, for example, photorealistic image. And I was pretty impressed how similar the real photo was to the sketch. Or I uploaded this empty room and I asked to add some furniture to give idea for the bedroom. And then I asked for the different setup, to make an office with a computer and the couch. Yeah, or how this photo would look if it's renovated and painted. Okay, what I used it the most probably are products when we work on some commercials. And since ChatGPT updates works very well already with the text, this can be a great tool for product commercials because you can now, for example, upload image of environment and the actual product and then ask to generate a product photography that combine this lotion bottle and flowers. With some consistent lighting. And of course, you can still adjust, for example, to put the bottle on this circle platform in this case. I have this bad-looking shot of strawberry juice bottle, and I can ask him to turn this into some professional-looking product photo in the kitchen. But in this case, it was too bright, so I asked to make it darker and put some more, strawberries or props to it. So this recent update is maybe 3 weeks old or maybe maximum 1 month old, since it can be doing this kind of images inside ChatGPT. I created a quick sketch of this sticky head on tablet, and I asked GPT to turn it to this 3D render, like a game item made from wood. And the result was pretty similar to the original sketch. Okay, and the last thing is photographs editing. For example, we can now colorize the image. You just upload black and white image, tell him to colorize, and the result look pretty good. Infographics, you can copy paste some text or documents and ask him to create infographics, or you can just simply give him a topic, for example, generate infographics by generative AI. And first it gives me a text, and then if I am satisfied, I can create this kind of image with quite a lot of information. If the infographic should be for children, I can it can be more playful and colorful. So these were all working with images in ChatGPT, which nowadays it's very, very possible and very accessible. The second tool is Midjourney. If you want to get really most realistic images, probably the most suitable tool right now on the market is Midjourney, which I use the most. These are images that I created in Midjourney. I really enjoy just experimenting and testing how, for example, environment in a public space would look like if houses were covered with this kind of fur or this long, colorful grass, which would probably not be practical in weather changes, but or for example, if the buildings were covered with such a large whales. This is a concept design for a commercial that we were doing for like a network of fashion brands with my agent. And my goal will be to move these images so the fabrics in the video will move in the wind. Or I really like experiment with creative use with AI in especially in cases which wouldn't be possible to create in real world, who would cover the bus to the foil or the car. I try to combine some reality with fiction, especially in the interaction of weird architecture and real environment. These are again create images as a mood board and references for a campaign for the outdoor brand, where the client wanted to show the mountain cottages made of sleeping bags and tents and durable outdoor materials, and later moved them in the wind. So these were all generated in images in Midjourney. You can generate directly on the website midjourney.com by just simply writing the prompt. At the same time, I can look at all the previous images that I generated in the past. And I can also remember what command I used to create them, which is very good. For example, I achieved this image by writing a prompt consisting of an object, which I described as a luxury and fashion store, then some action, like that it's wrapped in fabric, and description. In this way, for example, I created portraits of 12 Slovak changemakers for Forbes magazines. These are the people who are changing Slovakia for a better place, like some scientists and yeah, like 12 people, illustrations. And yeah, so Midjourney, I think it's really, it can be really powerful tool, and you can use it for all kind of things like, social media, marketing campaigns, presentations, branding, gaming industry. A final program that is great for generating image content is Firefly. I use it mostly for working with graphics, for product images. You can just go to Adobe Firefly page, switch to image mode, click generate, and now you can control all kind of things. You can upload an image that you want to use. You just choose that what style it should be. For example, hyper realistic. You choose studio lighting. You can write a command that realistic looking mock-up of a can in the water surrounded by bubbles, and I click generate, and Firefly can give you back several mock-ups. Or for example, when I am designing a t-shirt and I need to quickly show a client like several mock-ups, I can put a logo on it. I take a screenshot, put it to the Firefly. Again, I write a command, for example, man wearing a t-shirt with a printed logo, and Firefly generates mock-ups of t-shirt with person, which I can send the client. There's a very quick demo. In this case, I told him to generate hands, because these were without hands. So yeah, this is just the really fast way how to show like the quick demos of something. When I work with logos, I usually create the logo in curves in Illustrator. Then I insert it to Firefly and write to create, for example, text made of chrome pipes. Yeah, and in these ways, logos and signs can be created pretty quickly and efficiently by combining reference image and the text. In Firefly, you can also work with the video, although for now it's only in beta version. And I use it mainly for generating some simple logo animations. If you switch the video mode on the homepage, you can click like video, then generate. And as you can see, the user interface for video is much simpler than the image one. I just upload an image. I write the command, for example, in this case, it's one letter. I write that I want small pink flowers growing around this 3D glass letter, and I click generate, and Firefly give you back this very simple animation of growing flowers. So this can be pretty useful tool for logo animations or simple visualizations. For me, I cannot imagine doing a film with AI, because I really love working, manually with materials and textiles. But where I can see, at least in my case, where I can see potential use cases are first trying to find where I can save time in administrative work, and second, for me, it's like commercial works. For clients, where it can be very useful tool. Firefly costs, 10 euros for standard. You can generate 2,000 images per month and 25 seconds videos. And then you have Firefly Pro for 30 euros, which you can generate, 7,000 images. So these were like my three favorite image generation tools, and basically then I use two tools for quick editing or enhancing images that I have already created. The first one is, the old good Photoshop from Adobe, where images can be retouched and edited literally with one or two clicks thanks to AI. So for example, you can open image, select an area, you can write like what we want to generate. In this case, it can be sleeping cat. And Photoshop basically will create an object to the image which is based on description. You can choose from three variants which you like the most. It's really good in evaluating surrounding light and colors and shadows and materials and reflectivity. So he's able to generate the rest of the image based on these parameters. It works not only with solid backgrounds but also more complex compositions where objects overlap each other. And again, you can choose one of the three options offered. Part of AI implemented in Photoshop is function called select subject, which is automatically will cut the character with one click and remove it from background and replace it with something else that you write. I most often use AI in Photoshop to change the aspect ratio of image and add some missing parts. So I can expand the side edges, leave the command empty, and Photoshop calculates what the space behind the edge might look like. This is a quick demonstration of how our fellow architects in our creative center use Photoshop to create some architectural visualizations just by generating parts of the image as a reference of how the finished project could look like, which again, it's pretty fast tool for showing the first references to clients. Okay, and the second image editing tool is Magnific, which is used to basically enlarge images. So if you have photos of low quality and low resolution, we can use this enlarger called Magnific, and AI basically enhance missing pixels. We can find it in our browser at magnific.ai. You could, again, drag and drop a low quality, low resolution image, choose the magnification, select the type of the image, in this case film and photography. You can set the level of creativity, and when you press upscale, in a couple of seconds it gives you back a photo in a higher resolution. And now you can use slider to compare it to the original to see how the AI edit the missing pixels. For example, this is how I enlarged 300 pixels house to 2000 pixel house. And for me, Magnific is the really crucial tool every time when I try to prepare pictures for video generation. You can use it for product photos or visualizations, portraits. I use Magnific to enhance images that I generated in Midjourney before because I want to prepare them for video generation. I was experimenting like how stop motion stylization could look in combination with AI, how puppets and miniatures would look like as a preparation for for stop motion film. Yeah, and you have to be pretty consistent in you need to know like how to tweak parameters, like style consistency or character consistency to be able to make them look alike. Okay, and this brings me to the third chapter, which will be already much shorter, and it's about video. Do we want to make some break or some questions, or we?
I don't know. On peut continuer? Oui, bon. Yeah. We continue.
Okay. I don't know how much interesting is this for you, but I hope this video part will, since it's moving, it will be a little bit more interesting. So as I told you, I'm not planning, and I will probably, I think I will never use AI for creating my own short film, because I just don't see a point to replace something that I love, the process that I love, with just clicking a button. But so I really love doing and continuing traditional animation. However, I can see that for advertisement and for brands, this can be pretty nice tool. Again, working with video in AI means that I can write a text as an input, and it gives me video back as an output, text to video. Or second model, that I upload an image, and it give me back video as an output, image to video. So the three most well known tools for working with video are Runway, Pika, and Sora by OpenAI. These applications are similar in many ways, but each of them has some different features and strengths. Let's start right away with the first one, Runway. You just go to runway.com, you log, usually with your Gmail account. You can buy some credits. I usually pay $95 per month, which is an unlimited tier. And the first pretty nice feature in Runway is frames, which means that you can basically generate static images directly in Runway, and then you can later move them, like make them alive. I don't want to call it animated because it's not really animation. The general format for prompting in Runway is art style, subject. You can describe the scene, how the lighting should be, and what the color should look like. So, for example, in this case, cinematic photo of a peacock in the water, the lighting is even, and so on. You just click generate. And you can keep description general, or you can choose to get much more specific, and frames will handle the rest. If I need, I can be more descriptive in the command, and this prompt will be mostly similar to the simplified version, but it contains a lot more details about the main character and scene, and it giving me a more control for generating. But don't worry, it's not necessary to include all of these categories in every prompt. And then once you get what you want, you can hover over one of images you like, you can download it, you can favorite it, or you can click a vary button to get 4 more images that are similar. And then you also can click use button to swap like the generative session and use your frames output as an image to video input. The frames features also include styles, which that allow me to customize how the generated image should look like in the terms of styles and aesthetics. So go to Image tab, use frames, click on this palette icon, and to access styles, just click on any style to activate it, and then enter the prompt, choose aspect ratio, generate, and these are photos with different styles. You can even see the prompt that was used for any of these styles just by clicking on the icon on the top right corner of the thumbnail. And this is the helpful information to understand what prompt modifiers are being used to create this style. You can even create your own style. And it's actually the fast and easy way to create, images that are from the same stylistic universe. Without the need to type the same prompt structure over and over again. You can just focus on few things like color tones, lighting, shadows, textures, or any stylistic elements. Okay, another great feature is in Runway is that we don't have to create image in Runway directly, but we can upload any other image, for example, a photo that we taken on a camera, and use the text prompt to tell Runway what to do with it. So you just basically click on a new session, you upload image, set the aspect ratio, and write, for example, in this case, the man is looking around, the camera zooms in on him. And right now, the quality of the video from runway is already pretty good with the recent update. Or I don't know, the man turns around and walks into the distance. So basically, by text you are like basically directing the person, or you can use like much more descriptive prompts. You can now work very artistically and effectively with camera, thanks to the function that allow you to set many parameters in runway. These controls allows you to playing with specific camera movements in your scene. You can move camera left and right, or up and down, or go in and out, or from hand, left and right, tilt up then, or rotate clockwise, counterclockwise. Or you can even combine these values together to achieve some result. Down you have a prompt box. You just need to be sure to fill these purple areas with the description of the image. And I can even control camera by writing text. So for example, I can prompt where you want the camera to move, or what the subject should be doing. Expand video, it means that I can change aspect ratio and turn, for example, horizontal video to vertical one, or other way around. You just click on expand video, the model will automatically turn to vertical video, and you have a few different options. Option 1 is to just click generate, and without providing any text, runway calculate the rest by its own, similar to Photoshop. Option 2 is giving a runway prompt, telling what you are hoping to see in the parts of the frame that aren't visible. In this case, a lava lake. Or option 3 is to provide the model with outpainted image of the first frame. Sorry, I wanted, yeah. You just drag and drop to the canvas the rest of the picture, and runway will make a video from it. Restyle function basically means that we can insert a video to runway and upload the reference image, and it will transform this video to a different style. So for example, you can click style the first frame, and from here you can download this first frame of your original video to apply the stylization. And once you have the style that you like, you can upload this styled frame into the video and add some text prompt to additional context. You can do all kind of effects thanks to this function. In this case, to put the snow on the ground. Or you can even make completely different image as the style frame, which will give you this unexpected, interesting results. For this method, this structure transformation should be increased at least about 5 for good-looking videos. Yeah, I recently did a short commercial in Runway for a company that makes this kind of codes. I can... oh, sorry. So yes, this was Runway. The second one is Pika. So it costs. You can. Oh, sorry. I just. Yeah. So you can use it for free, but you only have access to like older version, which is 1.5. For paid version, you have some amount of credits. Most users use like this $35 per month. This is very basic prompting structure for Pika. Again, you just set some camera, movement, subject, location, and style. For example, in this case, cinematic shot captures a capybara relaxing in a hot spring during a sunset. And the cocktail is placed on a rock, and it has some muted colors. Very nice feature that Pika has are ingredients. It basically means that you can upload the different items and Pika will combine them. So you can upload your character, then your clothes that it's wearing, prop, which is a parrot in this case, the environment, and write the prompt that it should be a woman wearing a Roman tunic and has a parrot on the shoulder. And it can now combine these ingredients together and create this kind of videos. So, for example, location character, what it's wearing and what props it has, and Pika can combine them. And with text, you can, of course, direct what it should be doing. Then, second feature is called in-painting. It basically means that you have ability to take an object, insert it to the existing real footage, and create this kind of combination of videos just by dragging and dropping an image to video. In this case, it's like this elephant. You just write the prompt, click generate, and it gives you the video with in-painted subject in it. For example, looking like this. It also it's the latest updates of Pika. Very nice feature is frames. It works that you upload the first frame, which is the opening shot, and then you upload the last frame, which is like the closing shot, and Pika creates the transition between them. And it's the only video model that I have seen where you can choose the duration between 1 and 10 seconds. So these are my results at different durations. So basically you can use element of time for storytelling. If you want the transition to be very fast, you just put 1 or 2 seconds. And you can use it creatively, like for transition, changing the clothes from one color to another, or even transitions between a white empty screen and illustration, or transition between the flame and the flowers. Or you can even control the camera. So for example, the first frame is head of a character, and the second frame is like cropped image, which is a lot closer. And so you control the camera movement to focus on some very specific part of generated video. Or thanks to transitions, you can create this kind of isometric videos. Okay, Pika recently released effects, which is so basically you have just a list of these little presets which can do very specific things. Even without additional prompting, so you can inflate or squish or stretch or explode or do all kind of these crazy things. They do very specific things. You just upload picture and tell him to inflate or melt. Okay, and the last pretty nice feature in Pika is text. These are use cases to generate text in different styles, for example, made of eyes or balloons or moss or glass, coral. Okay, and the last one, Sora by OpenAI. It costs €200 per month. It's available only in United States for now, but if you want to use it, you need to use VPN, or you have to wait until European Union will provide it. And it works very similar way as the previous two ones. Basically, at the bottom of the screen, you have a composer. You just write the prompt, and you can add, for example, style preset, change the aspect ratio. You can increase the resolution, set the duration, and even how many variations. And in the end, this icon tell you how many credits you use in the current settings, which is very nice actually. And then you generate, and when the video generation is finished, you can just hover over any of the variations to watch all of them playing back in the same time, in the real time. If you want to change, for example, the style of, I don't know, in this home, you can click remix and write that you want to replace this cement building with some mid-century home. And when you click remix, the good thing is that it maintains, for example, the camera motion and the settings environment, but it replaces an object, which can be very good for post-production and VFX. And maybe not right now, but maybe in a couple of months it will have a very good quality. Another nice feature in Sora is called storyboard. So basically at the top you see captions, and you can write, for example, red crane with yellow tail, it stands by stream. And then you can choose the second action 4 or 5 seconds later and describe that this crane puts head in the water. You can move these two actions, together, or it will be faster or farther. It will make this action slower. And the storyboard makes the action between these two phases. This is, for example, a short video made by Sora by a couple of artists a couple of months back when it wasn't publicly yet, but OpenAI gave it to some selected artists in the world.
Episode 1 unveils the giraffe flamingo, a stunning hybrid that roams the savannah with grace and vibrant hues. In episode 2, we ascend the flying pigs, charming creatures that redefine the skies with their harmonious flight. Episode 3 plunges us into the depths to discover the whale puss, an elegant blend of whale and octopus ruling the ocean's abyss. Episode 4 introduces us to the eel cat, an aquatic enigma that combines the sleekness of an eel with the curiosity of a cat. Episode 5 presents the bunny armadillo, a delightful mix of bunny charm and armadillo protection, captivating our hearts. Episode 6 features the horsefly, a small yet noble creature that buzzes with a blend of horse-like dignity and fly-like agility. Episode 7 explores the reptilian aru, a creature that leaps across the desert with the vigor of a kangaroo and the resilience of a reptile. Our adventure culminates in Episode 8 with the fox crow, a fusion of fox cunning and crow freedom, soaring through the forest enigma.
So these kind of bizarre things are possible today. Okay, and the last 4th chapter, it will be very short, I promise, is audio. 3 tools for working with audio that I use pretty often: Polish, Startup, 11 Labs, Auphonic, and Suno. The first one, 11 Labs, is used to generate human speech. So, for example, if you are making a video where you need to have a spoken word, but from some reason you cannot record it on the microphone because of quality or studio or whatever, you can ask AI to read the text with the voice. So you can copy some text. You can go to 11labs.io, paste the text you want to tell, and you can choose the voice which reads the text.
Okay, so you're not going to believe this, right? So
Ideas are the beginning points of all fortunes.
And then you generate a spoken word.
Otvárame laby pre všetkých technologických nadšencov, študentov, kreatívcov, umelcov.
Okay, this was Slovak, but you can use basically any language. Just simply translate it through DeepL, which I use. It's alternative to Google Translate. You put translated text, in this case in English. Again, you choose the voice.
We are opening our labs to all technology enthusiasts, students, creatives, artists, designers, and the public who are interested in using the latest technologies in the creative process.
This is how it would sound
wir
in
öffnen
German.
unsere Labore für alle Technologiebegeisterten, Studenten, Kreative, Künstler, die
This is French. I don't know how much it's similar to French.
Nous ouvrons nos laboratoires à tous les passionnés de technologie, aux étudiants, aux créatifs, aux artistes, aux concepteurs et au public qui souhaitent utiliser les dernières technologies dans le processus créatif.
Huh? Okay. Yeah, or if you're making a commercial for Chinese market, 11 Labs can make a voiceover. Okay, but this generated spoken word itself sounds pretty empty, but when you combine it with some music, it can be already pretty useful and usable tool, and it's still especially when you are doing some promotional videos or tutorials on instructions. For example, right now I am working on an animated video for some dental clinic in Bratislava, and voiceover in different languages will be made in 11 Labs. The second tool is called Auphonic, which can basically edit the sound quality of any video or audio to sound like it was recorded in a professional sound studio. This is, for example, one older video that I recorded on a busy street with cars, and my goal was to remove those surrounding sounds. So to remove this ambient noise, I used a tool called auphonic.com. I just signed it with a Google account. I created new production, uploaded a video to it. From an iPhone, I selected that I want to do speech isolation. I checked, to remove breaths, and I started the cleanup. And after a few seconds, Auphonic gave me back a video and audio track. So again, this was the original recording. And this was how Auphonic was able to clean it.
Čaute kacetečkári, testujem hlučnosť zvuku na Rušnej ulici pri našom krásnom štúdiu.
I know many tools right now can do it. Some of them are even implemented to Adobe Premiere and different. But from what I tested, I don't know, 5 or 6 of them, Auphonic was probably the best quality because it didn't change the voice that much. And it can be very helpful when you are recording some, conversation in noisy environments, when you are shooting a film or even podcasts. Okay, and the last tool I will show you today is called Suno. It basically generates music. It works on the principle like text to music generations, which means that I give text as an input and it gives me back music as an output. It can do, of course, nice instrumental music for film and videos, but last time I gave him like more difficult task, and I let him not only to compose the lyrics, but even to sing them. So basically suno.com, and I told him to create a 90s retro disco song about CE animation, which you probably know. And I copy-pasted the link with the text about CE animation, and I let Suno to make a song from it. And this was this crazy result. Okay, I will not play the whole music, but yes, you can, generate music for after party, for DJ or whatever. Okay, so basically these were just a couple of tools, to create breathtaking movies and films. No, I'm just kidding. Really, I think we should really keep doing traditional films and with our typical signature and continue doing what we already doing. But at the same time, I think it's really worth, at least to know where AI can maybe help us. So, yes, for the ending, I just want to encourage you to not to be afraid to experiment and to try and play with it. And even maybe don't afraid to put some money on it and try what really AI can, where it can save you time and where even help you maybe make more money, paradoxically. So yes, these were just a couple of tools. If you are not making notes, you can find these tools on this link. And if you want to see some more samples how I experiment with AI, you can check them on my Instagram. And yeah, that's it. Thank you. And yeah, please ask some questions.
Yeah, des questions?
Yes, thank you very much for this presentation. It was very interesting. And I would like to know how much time do you spend each month, and how much money do you spend each month to be able to do all those things you showed us today?
Okay, so I don't know how much money it is, but it's most often between 100 euros and 500 euros per month. It depends how much active subscription I have right now. Sometimes it's 200 euros. And how much time I spend, it's also hard to say, because I'm just looking at tutorials. Very often when I'm brushing my teeth, I just put the phone on the shelf and I'm watching some new tutorial of AI tool which was released today. So it's like my activity in a free time. When I'm traveling in public transport, I'm watching YouTube tutorials about what the new image generation tool is right now. And when I have time, I just like to experiment. So for example, buy a couple of credits, use them, see what it's good for, when it has some borders, if I can use it for some other. Yeah, it's just playing with it. Sometimes it can be pretty expensive playing, but I try to use it then for some commercial projects that can pay it.
Thank you for this amazing presentation. Do you have community forums to recommend us?
Community, you mean like if I have some friends that we get
also users with have some exchanges regarding the use of these tools?
So a couple of months back, we were collaborating with students in Slovakia because we wanted them to teach some AI tools. It was like free course, which me and a couple of friends of mine in studio we built. It was online course, and basically we were recording short tutorials, and thanks to them, they could experiment with tools which we gave them access to, so they didn't have to pay. And they helped us on basically our project. So this was the way how we can learn, how we can teach them new tools, and they can help us on some like industry use cases, not just experimenting just like that. And but community. I have a lot of online inspirations, sources, like people that I follow and people that I like YouTube channels that I follow. Yes, and not yet.
En communauté, il y a aussi le collectif Creative Machine qu'on a créé, qu'on peut rejoindre aussi. Il y a beaucoup de personnes, I started in French, qui mettent des choses en ligne. Par contre, faire attention à beaucoup de choses commerciales en ligne sur LinkedIn et autres. Donc voilà, il y a des groupes. Le collectif Creative Machine, c'est en français pour ceux qui veulent. Et on partage beaucoup de tutos, beaucoup de choses aussi dans l'esprit. Il y a des versions anglaises, il y a beaucoup de communautés qui se développent. Dans l'art, dans notre industrie, c'est fait aussi de manière assez discrète, pour l'instant encore, parce que c'est un sujet encore sensible. Et voilà.
Thank you for your very structured. Sorry, I'm here. Thank you for your very structured and very complete presentation. I have two questions. The first one is: you say that you make videos for commercial use, so for advertisement, I suppose. And I was wondering, when you sell those videos to your clients, do they ask for specifically AI-generated things, or do you just give them that and they work with it? And my other question is, what is a specific stop-motion use that you have with the AI tools? Do you use it to, like, I don't know, erase some rigs or fix some light stuff? What do you use? Well, do you actually use it for specific, like, stop-motion things?
Okay, thank you for both of the questions. So the first one, these commercials that we did, most of them were asked by clients to be made as with AI from some reason. For example, Forbes explicitly asked that they wanted to have AI-generated painting portraits of 12 changemakers in Slovakia or 50 most richest people in Slovakia, which I also did. And they wanted to have AI-generated things, probably because they were inspired by US Forbes, which also did it last year. And also other companies wanted to have AI-generated content, probably from the reason that it's cheaper if it was shooted in locations or things like that. And the second question, like how I use AI tools in stop motion in particular. Right now, I'm not in the stage that I am, for example, finishing the film and I would need to retouch the rigs or possible mistakes. But I'm working on a new stop motion film at the same time as I explore these AI tools. And I think when I will be in the phase of post-production, I will definitely use or not me, probably the studio who will do the post-production and VFX. But for example, yesterday we were talking to Agata Jelenek-Novinsky, who is the producer of new feature stop-motion film called Living Large, which is also here at the festival. And she told me that 80 or 90% of the shots were already retouched by AI tools in a studio in Prague. But these were the models that were trained on the data from the film. So basically, they trained their own models and they needed to retouch the connections on the face between the replaceable mouth and forehead.
Hello, thank you for the presentation. I have one question about the protection of the work you do with AI. How can you protect this not to be used for other?
Yes, this is actually the topic that could be easily for one other lecture, and it's all about like the copywriting, author rights, and also the protection. Since we had a limited time, I didn't really want to talk about these kind of things. And also there are many other teams that are connected to AI, you know, like how potentially dangerous it can be, how much energy it spends when you have to cool down all these engines and so on, different topics. I just wanted to show you like a few use cases, but this is very, very, very important things about copywriting, and it's something that we all are trying to somehow handle right now all around the world. And since this AI is very new, Like it's basically like a new era. Still, there are still, you know, like these gray zones that people. It's not handled properly yet. I mean, for example, I can see a big differences when you are working, for example, with Firefly, which has a content that it has licenses for. So, for example, Adobe is training their models on the content which owns. In comparison, Midjourney is training their models on data which is not owning. And I think, you know, right now they are facing many, how is it called? Yeah, I mean, artists, probably many of these artworks were trained on the data which belongs to artists, but artists don't get any provision from it. So it's similar as, for example, when Spotify came out 10 years ago and Spotify put songs that didn't have a license to, and then it had to handle like with the artists about copyrights. So yeah, this is very big topic and very important.
Yeah, and we will talk about all this topic in the full days of Conference Monday, like a political one, economical one, impacts in ecologic, but in our industry too. It's a very huge and large topic. I'm agree with you.
You were telling us about clients asking you to use AI. Do you also face clients who ask you not to use AI? Or maybe even clients telling you that you're too expensive since you're using AI?
Yes, of course. And I think it's a very good thing that there are still, and they will be still clients who will ask not to never use AI, and they want their commercials or films or videos to be made traditional way. It can be handmade stop motion, but it can be digital hand-drawn animation, or yes, and that's why I think that more and more handmade stop motion films will be more valuable, because you will see this human touch and you know that it's made by hand and not by machine or computer. So I think in a couple of years stop motion will be even more valuable thing. So yes, I really want to encourage you not stop doing what you are doing, because it's even in these times it will be, you know, I already know many artists who turned completely to AI, and of course it's their own thing. It's not my business, but people will love human contact more and more.
No more question? I think je pense qu'on est au bout. Martin, thank you very much for the presentation.
Thank you too.
Puis bon festival à tous.